Welcome back. It is 1490, last decade of the century. Very exciting. In the last one, we had Cassandra be born and Lucius become a toddler. Very excited about that. We also have Diana finally getting the qualifications to become a lady in waiting, and we have Mortimer working with the House of Lords, now trying to work his way up there. So everything is going really well for the family. As you know, everything has been going less well for me and my save file. So I am currently making a new save file. I was able to port the families over from 1488, so not that long ago. So I'm still working through getting everything reset up, but I wanted to film or record this intro because I don't really have time this weekend to voice record, so I'm going to spend the weekend focusing on getting the save file reset up. Hopefully the new save file works. I don't really know what was going on with it, to be honest. Like, I found a save file from 1488, and that was before the patch, and so it should have worked, but as I was playing it, it stopped working around the same time, so I just don't know what was going on there. So I'm going to just start fresh, and hopefully we don't have any more problems. So anyway, this year, we have Randolph III becoming a toddler, and we have Odelgard Goth aging up into a young adult. So let's roll for them. No 4, 8, or 12 for Randolph III. He survived, and then no, 2, 6, 11, 13, 14 for Odelgard. Come on, Tiffany's daughter survived. She did. Okay. So, I mean, we know she's not having any kids, so that's kind of a bummer. But anyway, I wonder if I'm going to have the Goths and the Landgrabs join our nobility group, just because they are nobles. Like, the Landgrabs are a baron family, and these are just like, the Goths are just a minor lord. But I wonder if, since we're consolidating Sims and I'm not going to bring over all the families, if they have kind of ended, if we're not really using them anymore, I'm not going to bother. So maybe we'll consolidate a little bit. But anyway, that is that. I'm not going to do too much extra stuff this year because we're going to find out if this save file works, and if it does, we will start making more complicated, bringing in more Sims and stuff next year. So I hope that you guys are excited for a new decade, and let's hop into it. Alrighty, so we're starting off with trying for a baby, of course. And then also, I did lose some progress, and Cassandra does look a little different, but this is a new save file. I think it's working out really well. I'm looking for gnomes right now because it's Harvest Fest, even though I didn't adjust the holidays in the new save file. I'll do that when we get to 1500 and I add in like the new stuff for the new section. But yeah, so I'm pretty excited about the new save file. It's working really well. I did end up leaving behind some Sims, obviously, because I couldn't bring everyone over, and I was already encroaching on 80 anyway, so I just kind of took over the ones that we're still continuing on their lines with. So there's that, and then also we're going to have a dinner party today just because, it's the holiday, even though it's not, and I'm going to have them host a party. We're going to have Diana cook a grand meal, and then we are going to get going. So I'm excited about that, and we are going to appease the gnome. There we go. And so we are going to invite everyone over, even though they're taking forever to come in. Okay, so we also invited over our family, obviously. So Grace and Pedro are here, and they are here to just, be friendly. And also, Grace is coming of a certain age now, right? Grace is becoming of marriageable age. She is going to become an adult in a few years, and by a few years I mean probably 5, but anyway, in a few years. And so she is definitely going to start looking for a husband. And so I think Pedro is kind of talking to Mortimer and being like, hey, I know you have connections now, Grace needs a husband, and what do you think? Could you and Diana sponsor her so that she can come and, be able to find someone that is of good standing and all of that stuff. So Mortimer is obviously up for it. He takes care of his family, especially after losing his entire family. Diana's family is really all he has left, and so he is very generous with them. And so we have everyone sitting around here together, and we are going to, sorry, my watch just like started recording, not recording, but like, you know how you can like ask it a question, and it started just having that entire thing that I just said into the search. But anyway, so everyone's hanging out, and I did notice that I don't know if that already happened, but everyone is hanging out on and eating their meal and having a good time and whatever. Okay, so here is Bendix Peacock, who is sitting next to his mother right there. And look, he just got a crush on Grace. How funny is that? Like, she came here to ask if she can come stay with us to find a husband, and immediately one of the upper class men gets a crush on her. So that is so funny to me, that he just got a crush on her, and I'm really excited about that. So we'll have to see where that goes. Meanwhile, Diana is just hanging out with the queen. So also for Diana, I know we said that we'd have her be like a lady in waiting, and I do agree with that, but there's not really a career for that in the game, so with the mods. So what I'm thinking is there was a career called socialite, and it's like about, you know, hosting balls and parties and you know, socializing and all that stuff. So I think that we're going to give her that career so that we can say that she's doing her like lady in waiting duties by going to events and stuff with the queen. So that is going to be her career. Meanwhile, Mortimer is still with the House of Lords. So there's that. And then we are trying to potty train this kid. I need to get him at least to level 2 so that he can do it by himself. But yeah, so everyone is doing really well. The party went really well. We're also including the Landgrabs. They're also a Baron family. Hopefully we can find other ways to improve our standing. We'll have to see where we go with that. I'm not really sure, but we will find out. And then we are going to, I wonder what happens in that case. Like, can you have more than one title? How does that work? I don't even know. Like, if Lucius got like a marquis title or an earl title, whatever, and Mortimer is still a baron, would like his second male child get to be the baron then? Or can you have more than one? I don't know. I'm going to have to do some research because I do want to improve their station, but I don't want to like stack titles. But I guess it's fine if we like give a title to another one of our kids. I don't know. We'll figure that out later. Anyway, so we are training Lucius because obviously Mortimer and Diana want their children to be, you know, very skilled. They want them to be perfect. They want them to be perfect in society, to find good matches, to do all sorts of things where they're able to, you know, be successful in life and continue on the family lineage. So we'll see where that goes. And it's honestly a little sad because those kids are going to have a lot of pressure on them. But anyway, it's a holiday, so he doesn't have work. Also, the time in my game is so weird. Obviously, we've talked about that in the past, but I really noticed it here. Like, I cannot get Diana to go to work unless I change lots so that the time resets itself. It's just like, time doesn't actually move even though it says it's moving, if that makes sense. But anyway, Diana has a desire to be creative, so I thought that's totally fine. Go over and paint your picture, and Mortimer is mentoring Lucius, and they're just all having a good time. So we are actually going to head over to the castle with just Diana because, you know, she is a lady in waiting now, and she has to spend a lot of time with the queen. And again, it's a new save file, so some of these rooms in this castle are empty. I couldn't find one. I did see someone uploaded one for me, and I'm super excited about that, except the lot size was too big for to put that one on, so I just put this down, and it was a shell though, so I just put a couple of things in some of the rooms. Like, we have enough stuff to make a party, but we don't have I didn't fill up all the rooms. So anyway, it's fine. It'll be fine. Anyway, also, so we came here too because Diana had a desire to snoop. So she's going to snoop. And also Albert Landgrab was just born. So the Landgrabs are doing pretty well. I mean, they have like 9 baby tries. So they're doing pretty well. And we are going to have Diana snoop around, but also she's going to, I set up a little like dressing room area because I feel like a lady in waiting would definitely, be helping the queen get ready, or not get ready, but like be present. I don't really know exactly what the roles were back then, but she definitely would be present for the getting ready thing. I don't know. Anyway, so I'm just going to bring the queen here so that they can hang out and, oh, she is not happy, but there we go. So they're just going to hang out and have a good time and, try on outfits and just, enjoy each other's company. And then I've been trying to follow their whims as well. So something about the whims is that she wants to talk to Sir Alan, who is the current head of guard, personal knight of the king. He is the top knight in the kingdom, and so she got a desire to chat with him. So I'm gonna have him come over. Maybe he's just surveying, keeping the castle safe and stuff, and so we just chat with him a little bit. Although he definitely would not be allowed into the queen's dressing chamber, but that's okay. So anyway, we're just going to head back home now. And she had a good day with her friend. I think that, so also, in the 1490s, the 1490s, let me find the exact details about this. In the 1490s, there was also a whole thing where there was someone who, Perkin Warbeck claimed to be a missing royal. He did end up executed in 1499, but he claimed to be a missing royal because in the last generation of royals, there were a couple of them who did go missing. Their bodies were eventually found, I believe, but there were 2 boys who, one of them became king, and then the uncle who was regent took control, and because of that, the boys disappeared, the princes disappeared. So I think that he was claiming to be one of them or something. So I do think that it might be interesting to include something like that in our game, where maybe we won't have that person per se, but we will have, maybe we can roll for each family to see whether or not they would believe him over the king and queen. So we'll see who becomes a traitor. But that's kind of a next year thing. The reason I wasn't going to include it this year is because obviously we're starting a new save file. I wanted to make sure everything worked before I started, really going crazy. Also, I realized that you can hire a governess, which I think is super cool, except I probably shouldn't have hired her yet because the things that she can do are teach painting, teach piano. It's not really something that you need a toddler for. But also, her last name is Lewis, our governess. So maybe she is related to the Lewis, ducal family. So that could definitely be fun. Enjoying that, and so we can say that she's related to them, but yes, she is our governess right now. She does take a bit of care of the baby, I think, but and we're eating for 2, so Diana is pregnant again. She is pregnant. We're gonna have a 3rd baby, and I definitely want to work on expanding our house a bit so that we can have enough room for all these kids, because we only have 2 bedrooms for kids right now, and that is not great. So but yeah, so we have our governess taking care of the kids, and also Diana pregnant again. I'm really, really happy about that. She also will be friendly with the governess. We're going to give her a lot of tips, and we're going to be known to be a good family and all that. So the reason that I think, so again, Mortimer is not this moral paragon of goodness and would never do anything to, he wouldn't cheat on his wife, blah, blah, blah. It's he's not doing those things because he not because he doesn't, I don't think he wants to do those things. I don't think he has an urge to cheat on Diana, but I think that more than anything, he cares about his family's reputation. He cares about their standing. He does not want anything to sully their names, and so he would never do anything that would do that. Now, I'm not saying that he would cheat on Diana if that weren't the case, but what I am saying is that it's definitely something to keep in mind when you think about Mortimer's character, is that he does everything basically for the reputation of it. So anyway, Pedro has come to visit, and so Pedro wants to talk a little bit more about, you know, Grace coming here and everything. And so I think that Mortimer and Diana have talked a little bit about it, and they really do think that Pedro should also come with Grace, just because, like, he'll be all alone. That's his last family member. He doesn't have anyone else. He's going to be alone in his big house all by himself. And so I think that Mortimer and Diana are kind of like, well, why don't you and Grace come here? We will build a little like guest house, because we were always planning on expanding our estate. So I think that like building a little guest house, you know, obviously we have time because each day is 3 months. Each video is a year. So even if they came next year, we still have like a long time that we can, you know, build out our estate a little bit, build a guest house, do some construction, and be able to include Pedro and Grace on our lot and also in the storyline. Because again, and one of the things too is I love seeing all of your Sims, but like it's hard too to put some of these new families in the game when I don't have like marriageable Sims ready. Like a lot of them I'm like, oh, we should marry into that family, but I don't have anyone who's getting married right now. So I think that bringing Grace over and trying to find Grace a husband would definitely be a good opportunity to, you know, use some of your Sims. And I'm just really excited about, you know, helping Grace. I'm already starting to come up with a storyline for her. We have a few years of her being here, and we will see, you know, what she has going on. And then, so yes, our governess is down here. We're all chatting. Diana is talking to her father about moving into, you know, another building that we're going to build. And then also the governess is ending up in the conversation too. And then I'm like, wait a second, should Pedro remarry? Like, should we think about that? So maybe Pedro is just, you know, chatting a little bit with her. Honestly, I forget her name. Her name is like a weird name. I forget what it is now. But yeah, so maybe we can think about remarrying Pedro too. Who knows? But we'll see. I don't think like a young, never had kids woman would probably want to marry him. All of his kids are grown or dead. Anyway, so yeah, again, you can see it's 2:13, but my game doesn't think that it's the time for Diana to go to work. So what I did was I brought her out and then immediately sent her to work because the time reset itself. So that's all good, and she can go to work now. I don't know if that's going to be annoying in the future, but we'll find out. And we are going to then, of course, come home because we are going to spend some time with Mortimer. We're going to invite, I'm going to give her a residence key so that every time she comes in, she doesn't have to worry about, you know, getting invited in. But yeah, this is when I was like, okay, we don't need to have an affair with our governess because Mortimer would never do that. But I kind of want to a little bit, but we won't because Mortimer wouldn't do that. Anyway, so we are going to just come back here. He's going to work on his stuff, his work for the House of Lords. He actually didn't have a single work day in this year because there was a holiday, and then there was, you know, his weekend, his 3-day weekend. So there was that. And then, yeah, we're just trying to get this baby's skills up. We're really enjoying that, making sure our kids are super competent. Yeah, look at her taking care of Cassandra. So yeah, Cassandra obviously had to be reborn, and since she was reborn, she does look a little different than she looked previously. Like, she looks more like Mortimer now, whereas in the past she looked more like Diana, but that's totally fine. We're okay. And then we are going to just hold the time here again, because Diana is supposed to be coming home from work, but she wasn't coming home from work because the game didn't know what time it was. I really honestly don't know what to do. Maybe I shouldn't be fast forwarding at all in this game, but I can't help myself. I like play my life and fast forward in this game. But anyway, so Diana is going to come up here and talk to Mortimer. They're probably just going to talk more about like Grace and who do you think is like suitable for her. And Mortimer is definitely, okay, we're also taking forever to get up here, but Mortimer is also like 100% into like what's the best Grace can do. And so obviously the best Grace can do right now would be Robert Dakra. So he is the future Earl. No one else with a title has a son of marriageable age except for the Goths, but he's already promised to Peregrine Landgrab, so that wouldn't work out. So obviously, Mortimer and Diana are going to be pushing Grace towards Robert. We'll see how that goes, whether she actually ends up liking him or not. Bendix has a crush on her, so will that relationship go anywhere? I'll add a couple more bachelors into the game. We'll just see what happens, and I'm excited for Grace's love story, so they're definitely just having conversations about that. Probably Mortimer is having to deal with like builders and construction and plans and all that stuff because they do want to get that guest house ready for next year. I did already build it, so you guys don't have to worry about that. It will definitely exist. And so there is that. And then, again, we have Mortimer and Diana just really spending some good time together, enjoying each other. I really love their relationship. I think that they are two peas in a pod, and they are definitely, like, made for each other. Like, they have the same drive, and, like, even that she's nosy and she wants to, find out things. Like, that is a great way of figuring out people's, their, not secrets, but like a way to get ahead in society because you know things, So I didn't know how I was explaining that. Anyway, we are going to go woohoo because you know what? They deserve it. They earned it. And they are going, so the baby won't be, the baby will probably be born at like the very beginning of next year. Cause I think she's like due to have her baby like at 6 a.m. starting in the next year. So that is definitely going to be something. She also got a desire to play the piano. And I'm like, you know what, Diana, whatever you want, you can have. But it does kind of fit weirdly. So I was thinking too about expanding our house, to the left and the right as well. So like our house would go left and right, and then up the sides of like a U shape would be any guest houses or, branch family houses and stuff. So because of that, I was trying to think of what we should put over there. And what I think we'll do, since our ballroom is pretty small and our dining room is pretty small, maybe if we expand the house, we can then, make a bigger dining room, like a banquet hall room, and then also a bigger ballroom to have big parties in. Because I feel like, these people are always trying to improve in society, always trying to get up. And so they, of course, would want a nice grand ballroom to go with that. So I think that makes sense there. And then the upper floor would have like the new bedrooms. So anyway, Diana wants to snoop again, so let's head over to Isabel's house. That's her other friend, along with the queen. They are the trio that's as close-knit. So we are going to think about that, and we are going to head over to her house. We are so pregnant. Also, she's had some kids lately. I think she had one kid, and then she asked us if they should try for a baby, and I said yes. So what I'm thinking is that maybe, so also this is going to depend, right, on whether or not the Bezas decide to support the king and queen or support, the pretender. So we'll see there if we end up arranging any marriages with their kids. We'll see how they're going to get out of that if they do roll. I'm gonna roll for everyone, so we'll see. Anyway, obviously this house is kind of modern looking, but it was like Tudor looking on the outside, so it's fine. We are just going to have these two chat and hang out, and they're good friends, so there's that. And then Hello, Mr. in your undies coming over here. You really didn't need to do that. Um, so anyway, it is already like 12. I am going to have to deal with her work thing again soon. So let's have her head home and we'll see if we can figure out what time it is. But I guess, you know what, this error, I guess, in the game is definitely helping me get out more. There is that. So moving on, we are headed home now. Diana does have work shortly, so she's going to be going to the Queen and maybe like attending an event with the Queen, or even I think sometimes they just hang around, like they just sit around, and I don't really know. All I know about it is from Bridgerton, and really the ladies in waiting just seem to kind of follow the Queen around and not say anything. So I don't know, but although maybe they weren't. No, I feel like they have to be noble, but at the same time, why don't they get to actually attend the parties? I don't know. Anyway, so we are going to be taking care of our family here. We are going to have Diana wants to make a blog post. So I don't know what we'll say that is, but Mortimer wants to chat with the Earl. So I think he's probably thinking about how Grace is coming and how the Earl's son is, you know, a really good potential match. Oh, also we have the other Baron here. So yeah, see, try for that baby. Okay, so Mortimer is going to come and talk to them and kind of be like, oh yeah, like he's just going to kind of slide in there with the Earl that like, yes, my sister-in-law is coming to find a husband. She's a young lady of good standing. If you wanted to find a countess for your son. So he is definitely trying to scope out whether or not Grace could, get a really good match there. So we're going to head out to the tavern next. So everyone is just going to hang out there. Diana does have to go to work, so we'll send her off. And then, as per usual, it's like, oh, I'll invite everyone from that club here. That's not what I wanted, actually, but okay. So yeah, everyone is coming here to hang out. This is a really cute build by, I believe it's Devin Bumpkin. So everyone is just having a good time here. We're going to order some drinks. And look, there's Mortimer Goth. He is dying today. He is at the end of his lifespan. But yeah, so everyone is having a good time and hanging out. It actually is mostly the guys. There's like, I guess there's one woman here, 2 women. Grace is there. But yeah, so everyone is having a good time, chatting, hanging out. And yes, I did include, so everyone in the save file is now in our area, is now in like our social circle. So the Goths are going to start coming to events and stuff. And I guess, so Tiffany was our sister. Her children are our cousins. So potentially we could have some of our kids marry into the Goth family. The game won't come after us for that. Okay, and yes, I did kill Mortimer right now. I mean, we're right here. We might as well. So Mortimer did pass away of old age. He lasted the whole time. Like, he did not die in any plagues or anything. He survived to die of old age and pass his lordship on to Alexander Goth II. So that is where we're at. We're just, moving along in history. So we are going to have to reset him because it's taking too long for me. But let's it's already like almost 9 o'clock, so we're going to head home because it's definitely not, because Diana's still at work. But we're going to head home, and we do have to, we also have to kill Katrina Caliente. She came in around the same time as the Goths, so we did include them in the same time we added in the Goths. And so we are going to just come over here, fill household needs, very playful, go see the baby. I mean, they're just so cute, the kids. They are perfection. And we are going to continue to do really well for little Lucius's skills. He only has 2 more skills he has to learn, and one of them is potty, and that only goes up to level 3, so that's really good. So yeah, we're doing really well. He's going to get his imagination skill up next. He's such a cutie. I hope that he, you know, actually, I hope that he's full of drama. I hope you're full of drama, Lucius, if you survive and become our heir, of course. So there is that, and then we are going to just take care of our baby, maybe do some tummy time with her. She's so cute. All of my Sims are cute. I love them so much. So yeah, that's where we're at. And then we do have to update a bit of stuff on the family tree. I was trying to, so what I had to do is I had to go through and get rid of all the Sims that we didn't take over with us, and then also had to deal with what we do have with us. So like, so again, Randolph the Third is a toddler now. Oldegard Goth is a young adult, although she's not getting married because she rolled not to. We got Liberty, Diana, and the Queen pregnant because King Henry VIII will be born next year. Mortimer Goth dies. Katrina Caliente dies. Princess Margaret becomes a toddler, and Serdic Beza becomes an infant. And then Albert Landgrab was born. So yeah, I think that's everything. Oh, and I forgot to give a makeover to William Docra, so we're gonna have to. I have to do that too, but you don't have to worry about that. But yeah, so everything I think is all set up and good to go. So I am going to introduce a couple of new Sims in the next one, and then also show you the updated house. And yeah, we're going to move in Pedro and Grace. For right now, I'm not going to make it a residential rental, but for obviously once we find Grace a husband, and or if we start to run out of room in our household, then we will worry about that then. So yeah, I hope that you guys enjoyed this part because I am having a lot of fun with it. I think that it's really funny that our governess is related to the Duke Louis. And yeah, I think everything is going really well so far. Let's hope that the game continues to not be a problem because, gosh, I still am hearing about people having problems with their game. And it's just wild to me that, like, I mean, not to be a jerk, but like you're a business and you should not be making these kind of mistakes. So I'm just going to go out there and say that. But yeah, I hope that you guys enjoyed, and I will catch you in the next one for a new baby being born like right away.